Some of the people I've trained are some people that you might know or might heard of. I've trained people such as Alemana from Attack and Alemana, Judith, Corky Judith from Bachata Sensual. The majority of the people that are in this call have I also trained. So these are actually people I care more about than the big names that I'm about to mention. I've also trained Truque Gloria, Pablo Raquel, or I've done collaborations with them. I've done collaborations with Sara Lopez and a lot of beautiful people, a lot of beautiful dancers. Trained Reem, Carol Flores, etc., etc., etc. One of the most stronger names that I've also trained is Madonna. I think the majority of us knows who that is, and that is the Madonna, the pop icon. I actually lived in her home for a little while, which was a very unique experience that we can talk about off camera, perhaps. So I'm gonna go to jail. But anyway, I love training and I love dancing. And where I like to say that I draw the line in the sand is the mindset part. So we're going to do everything in my power to dissect these four areas. Once again, it's training, nutrition, mindset, and dancing. So we have more clarity, more overview, so we can actually move in the right direction, because there is so much information out there. So if you get this thing right today, you're going to have, my goal is that you leave with more clarity. You have some type of roadmap of at least how and what you should be doing. And then you also get return on investment on the effort that you put in, because there's no other thing that is more discouraging than to have a lot of putting a lot of time and effort into this thing called your life, your body, your physical, mind, mental and physical health, and then not getting bang for the buck, not getting the squeeze, right? That sucks. And we all been there before. And if you don't get this right, what's going to end up happening is that you're definitely going to feel more overwhelmed because there's so much information out there. You're going to feel lost, because even if there's a truckload of information out there, there's very little information for Afro-Latin dancers. Lucky for you, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I feel I'm honestly one of the, if not the best in the world in doing exactly this thing, because I founded this company called Dance Specific Training 10 years ago. So it's been a minute. And you're going to actually have, if you don't get this right, you're not going to get return on investment of the time you're putting in. You're actually going to do something that is countering to where you want to go, right? And that is absolutely not where we want to be. We want to be in a place where we are improving constantly. Yes? So if you're excited about this, give me some thumbs up. Everybody good? Give me some thumbs up. Let me see here. Wait, I can't see you because I changed for speaker view. Everybody good? Yes, boom, thumbs up all over the place. Let's jump right into this thing. Let me see here. I'm gonna switch over to my iPad. Where are we? Bam. Going once, going twice. There's also some people looking here that I was watching on Instagram. I just want to acknowledge you guys. We have Sean here. We have Krista here. Dancer de Jesus. That's a very unique name. We also have Mark. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Now, bam, we're going to jump in. So if you have pen and paper, I want you to draw 4 intersecting circles that should look like this. Bam. 4 intersecting circles, or as it's beautifully called, a Venn diagram. Guys, you guys can see me good, and nothing happened since we moved into the platform, right? I can't see you, so I need someone.
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Here we go. So in the first circle, top left, we're going to make it super straightforward, and we're just going to write training. It would be amazing. Imagine if the pen worked. There we go. So we have training. Just again, guys, I really want to highlight the fact that this is very much out of my comfort zone. Writing, because I'm dyslexic. Anyway, training on the upper left. On the upper right, we're going to talk about your nutrition. In the lower left, we're going to talk about your mindset. Turn this down because this one is getting really warm right now. And then on the right lower part, we're going to write dancing. Because what we're trying to do here, right, is that we really want to make sure that we're covering these 4 aspects of your life. Because if your training is assisting your mindset, and your mindset is assisting your dancing, and your dancing is assisting your training, and your training is assisting your nutrition, and we want this to go and flow as a beautiful infinity sign right here. So we don't want this to be a place where you need to focus on one thing and the other things don't work. And like I said, if you get this wrong, you will end up in spaces that I've been to. And that is where you train a lot, you put a lot of effort into the gym. But what ends up happening is that you're neglecting your body, or you're neglecting your dancing rather. And what ends up happening is that you become stiff. And that is, again, obviously very counter to your dancing. And that is not where we want to be. So this is it. Let's move in. Let's talk a little bit about training. What ends up happening, and what a lot of us are dealing with, and a lot of us are struggling with, is that we are getting into a space where training is holding us back. We are over. Oh, that's not what I want. Sorry, guys. Bam, we're back. And there is so much information out there. There's so much information. And then back to the question about like, what is the best way for us dancers to train? Well, it all comes down actually to what is personalized for you. What is working for you and what do you need? So I'm currently training Magda from Magda and Valeria. Some of you might know what that is. I'm also training dancers such as Alemana, Kere Flores, Judith from Bachata Sensual. And truth is that everyone have their own unique goals. Everybody have their own goals. Everybody have their own body. And the truth is that what most trainers do is that they just give you a program, a 16-week program, and they say, hey, here's a 16-week program. Take it. Good luck. And that's a guess. And we don't do guesswork over here. Because the truth is that I have no idea. I have no idea how your body is going to react to my program, or you have no idea how your body is going to react to a program. So what you then want is that you want personalized for you and your goals. So up here, I want you to write personalized. Personalized for you. Because what does that mean, right? Some of us want to perform the up and coming. Some of us might have shows. I know some of you guys watching here have some shows coming up. I know some of you guys watching have some injuries that we're working through. And I know some of you guys watching here really just want to drop some body fat, right? And are just want to enjoy social dancing. And that's completely fine. But the point is that it needs to be personalized for you. Because if we leave out the guesswork and we do something that is customized and working for you, and it's not done for you, but it's done with you. I worked as a personal trainer in a gym, in a corporate gym for 4 years. And one of the things that I understood very quickly is the business behind personal training. And the business behind personal training is the following. I need to give you results, but I need to keep you confused. Because if you are not confused, it means that you are not coming back and I'm out of job. But you still need to get results, right? And I think that is such a shady business model. So I don't want to do that. So that's when I said, hey, let me find another way and let me call myself a coach. So what is the difference between a personal trainer and a coach? A coach is somebody that is there with you and holding your hand throughout the entire time. And that's why, again, it's personalized. Done for you is that I do it for you and I throw it at you and you do it and good luck. Send me a progress photo if it worked. Done with you means that if it works for you, we are keep developing it. I send you a program, you try it, you send it back to us. It's personalized for you and your goals. You might be out traveling, you might be out on a vacation, you might coming back from an injury, like Thomas mentioned and like Debbie mentioned. So we need to move that. We need to move that in a beautiful synergy that is working for you specifically. Make sense? I feel this making sense. Let me see. Let's see if I can see you guys here. Bam. One of the things when we're having these type of webinars is, again, I can't see you. So it's always scary. So when I say like, hey, but do you understand? Okay, bam, I could see you. Here you go. Yeah, I'm getting some thumbs up. That's the most important thing. So that's the training part. Dance specific, short, effective, and actually science-based. All of the things that I'm saying, or let's say this, 99.9% of the things that I'm saying can actually be backed up with science. It's not that I'm drawing this thing out of a hat. I want this to work for you. And I want you to understand what it is that we're doing so we can actually get value out of it. And you can do this by yourself. I don't want anybody to be dependent on me. I want you to be able to fly on your own wings as soon as possible, because I'm not going to be there when you're out on festivals, right? I'm not going to be there when you're having these long nights of dancing. And the thing with training, once again, we want you to understand, and I want to understand rather, that you can move your training around and you can change it and form to fit your week optimally. What do I mean with this? The last thing I want you to think about is that once you're out dancing, today it's Thursday, right? So let's say you're going to go out social dancing tonight. The last thing I want you to think about when you're out social dancing is that, oh my God, I got to get home earlier because tomorrow I need to wake up and do my workout before work. That's the last thing I want you to think about. Because if you're having an amazing night and you're dancing with artists and everything is feeling good and you're catching a flow and you're feeling that you're that woman or that man on the dance floor, you're owning the dance floor, I want you to stay in that space. I don't want you to leave that space of thinking about training. Don't worry about it. If you miss your workout on Friday, just move it to Saturday or move it to Sunday. Don't worry about it. So instead of looking at one day, we are focusing on the entire week. The total volume of the entire week, not the one workout that you did or didn't do. So that's the training. Then it comes to the nutrition. When it comes to nutrition, what we want to think is that we don't want to think, how little are you allowed to eat? We want you to think, how much should you eat in order for you to perform optimally, right? And that's a big difference. Bodybuilders say you're only allowed to eat this little. Dance-specific training says, how much should you eat in order for you to perform optimally? And how do we make it stupid simple? How do we make it stupid simple for you so you can't fail? Right? So what we want to do is that we want to eat enough to perform optimally. We do eat enough to perform optimally. That's, I think you guys understand. Eat to perform optimally. Because it's such a big difference. It's such a big difference because once you understand, okay, wow, there is so many moments, so many people that are watching this, so many people that are here have been eating too little. You guys are eating too little. And what ends up happening is that I love to use this analogy of undereating, and it's kind of like a hug. So let's say that let's say you're out and let's say you're eating dinner at your mom's place. It's Friday. Now, you know, you're just going to go home quick and then you're going to meet her again on Saturday because you have a lunch prepared on Saturday. So what ends up happening is that, you know, Friday you're with your mom and then you're going to meet mom again on Saturday. So it's not that far, right? So you're just going to hug her real quick. And then you go off and then you meet her again tomorrow. But if it's Friday and you know you're not going to see your mom for like 6 months because you're going to go out traveling, you're going to hold on to your mom. Your mom is going to hug you and she's going to make sure to really squeeze everything to get the most out of you, right? And the body works pretty much the same. So what ends up happening, if you don't give your body enough fuel, aka nutrition, aka food, what's going to end up happening is that your body's going to hold on to everything, hold on to the fats, hold on to all the things and say like, hey, we're starving over here. We're dying. This is an emergency. All hands on deck. Let's hold on to everything. And you're not going to drop in body fat. But if you're continuously giving your body enough food, enough everything, enough food, just constantly coming in more nutrition, your body's going to say, hey, there is an endless amount of resources coming in here. We're not under stress. We're living in abundance. Let's get rid of the unnecessary. Did that make sense? Let me see here. I'm seeing Roshni is Georgia saying, hey, yes. Roshni's bouncing her head like a hip hop head. Armanda is saying the same thing. Yeah, cool. seems to be making sense. And guys, we're going to deep dive more into this as things are going on, but I'm just going to run over this so we have some clarity. Then we have the mindset. So when it comes to the mindset, it's so important that we develop tools that are working for us. And what does that mean? Is that we need to understand what is happening up here on the dance floor. Because you might be thinking right now, but well, I think I have a pretty good mindset, right? Like I'm mentally healthy. Like I didn't go through any trauma as a child. I'm a little bit stressed at work, but it's nothing crazy. But then, how is your internal dialogue on the dance floor? Because I've met some incredible dancers that just had a terrible internal dialogue. I don't want to mention any name, but I've trained again several world champions in bachata, in salsa, and in hip hop. And some of them had just the worst internal dialogue ever. Now, for some of them, it actually works. For some of them, it absolutely did not work. And we had to go in and fix that. Because if you're having a positive or negative attitude towards yourself, what is the most important thing is that you're getting the results that you want. Right? Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. But I can't tell you that positive mindset works. But I can promise you that a negative mindset affects you negatively 100% of the time. A negative mindset is going to affect you negatively 100% of the time. So we need to make sure that your internal dialogue is working for you, not against you. Okay? So we want to, again, so I'm going to write here, we want to control. Here, we want to control the internal dialogue. I think dialogue is spelled like that. That is a shot in the dark, you guys. That's a shot in the dark. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I speak 5 languages, and English is one of them. And writing is not one of my not one of my strong points, but doesn't matter. Most important is that you understand what I'm saying, and that the message come across. Now, David is saying good enough. Eldar is saying almost there. That's awesome. We're moving on. And no, you know what? Before we move on, because I want to point this thing out, guys. Because if you have an internal dialogue that is negatively affecting you on the dance floor, just imagine how many other areas that internal dialogue is negative in also. Because it's not like you have a super positive dialogue internally at home or a super positive internal dialogue at work, but then on the dance floor is just terrible. Right? That's not the truth. Truth is that the internal dialogue is the internal dialogue. It's just that you can hear it very easily on the dance floor. But truth is that it's hindering a lot of other areas of your life as well. Right? And then we go to the dancing part, my favorite part. And when it comes to the dancing part, we want to make sure that you feel that you are actively, weekly improving on the dance floor. So we want to feel consistent improvement. Oh, good. Improvements. Bam. And how do we do that? So for you guys who know me, once again, I've danced 16 years. I've traveled to 30 plus country with the dance specific training, teaching to far over 10,000 people online and offline. I've again trained some of the world's most incredible artists. And one thing that I understand is that I'm not the guy that's going to give you dancing on your dancing technique feedback. That's not what I'm the best in the world at. You have dance trainers for that. So I'm not going to give you feedback saying like, hey, when you're doing pinza or salsa basics, you're positioning your weight wrong. That's not what I do. I come in and I say, hey, look, when you're doing this very specific move, maybe it's Afro-Cuban. Debbie's is savage at Afro-Cuban. So I'm coming in and I'm saying, hey, when you're doing this very specific move in your show, it looks that you're getting tired. What's happening? And then Debbie might be telling me, yeah, coach, actually, I'm getting tired. And then I say, oh, so we need to make sure that the training program is assisting the dancing. And then Delphine might be saying, hey, coach, do you have some feedback on my dancing? And she's dancing bachata sensual. And I'm saying, yeah, sure. And I look at the dancing and I say, like, okay, but it's when you're doing solo, looks like you're absolutely crushing it. However, when you're doing this dancing couple, I'm making this up, right? But when you're dancing couple, it looks like in this very moment that you're hesitating. What's going on? And she might be telling me, yeah, coach, I am hesitating. And that is because I feel pain in my neck. It's like, oh, that means that we need to strengthen your neck and that we need to make sure that you have a proper warm-up routine so you can actually do this and enjoy your dancing to the fullest. Is this making sense, guys? Because it's super important. Because again, if we look at these things, if we look at the training, we look at the nutrition, we look at the mindset, and we look at the dancing. What we need to remember, what is so important, is that if you do this, bam, 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 bam. Guys, I just wanna, I know, I'm an incredible artist. Some people are asking me, how come you decided to become a dancer and not like a painter? And I'm honestly not sure. I'm honestly not sure, guys. What you're witnessing is just high level art. Right here, right up there. Maybe stand up. I feel held out. I truly feel that is like, if this coaching thing doesn't the coaching thing doesn't goes and my painting skills doesn't go, so stand up might just be it. Anyway, if we're looking at the training first, what are we trying to say here? What am I trying to talk to you guys about? Essentially, I want to give you, or I think it's super important that you start to thinking about longevity. Because as far as I know, nobody in this call is in their early 20s. Nobody in this call is that young, which is cool. But the beautiful thing with the dancing Afro-Latin dance community is that the majority of us are like in our 30s or up. 30s or up. And some of us, or the majority of us again, started dancing quite late. So we need to start focusing on longevity. What does that mean? It means that we need to focus on joints, ligaments, mobility, so our joints can carry us for a long time, and making sure that we can dance until we're in our 60s, 80s, right? So a lot of people are asking me like, coach, what's your goals with training? And I always say the same thing. My goal is to be able to dance until the day before I die. And what do I need to do then? I see Debbie's heavily following. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to take care of my joints. I need to stretch. I need to train. I need to eat properly. I obviously need like a social circle, so I have somebody to dance with. And I need, friends. Like we just gave a round of applause for dancing, for being there for us. And I think that's so important. I think that is so important. And how do we rock and roll all of this, right? Well, we need a roadmap. And I hope that this thing now, there are so many of us here watching, so it's hard for me to give like an individual roadmap for everybody, but hopefully you can at least look at this and say like, hey, this is, I have some clarity. Like just the awareness of needing a roadmap is sometimes, I mean, it's a great start. It's a great start. And then when it comes to nutrition, we spoke about undereating. So we need to change our narrative and we need to understand knowledge. Because once I was on tour the most, when I've been on tour the most, I went to 38. I did 38 international travels in 1 year. And that's a truckload of traveling. And that is a truckload of different restaurants, different cultures, different countries, different whatever. And not once did I gain weight. Not once did I not have a six pack. And not once did I not do what I had to do. And then it's very easy for somebody at home or in a car or you on Instagram watching saying, yeah, but it's easy for you. You're coach. They're like, well, I mean, first, that's true. But it's also the fact that I know how to navigate at a restaurant. I know how to navigate at a buffet. I know how to navigate around with nutrition. And that's why I'm pushing this thing on you guys, right? And then when it comes to this, we've been running over the training, we're running over the nutrition, we're going to move down to the down mindset, and then we're going to touch on dancing. And the goal with all of this is, again, to give you some type of understanding and roadmap so that you have some clarity and understanding of, okay, this is what I need to do. And these are like things I need to boost and improve, right? Because we've been talking about training, nutrition, mindset, and dancing. And if we get all of these things right, we're going to feel that we're in control and we have clarity. And if we don't get these things right, we're going to feel completely lost. And that's the last thing that we want to do. Do we have, let me just check in real quick here. I don't see you guys. It's kind of confusing. Let me see here. And start. Let's take a quick break here from this slide. Let me go. Where are you? Bam. There I am. Bam and bam. Guys, is everybody following along? Nod your head aggressively if this is making sense. We're about, Gilda is taking extensive amount of notes. Eldar is banging his head like he is in a rock concert. Who else? Georgia is smiling and nodding aggressively. Also, I love what I'm seeing. Guys, let's take everybody except Eldar because he's in the car. So everybody, let's stand up real quick. Who would I be? Who would I be if everything was sitting down? I'm coach. Let's stand up. You can do the sitting down also if you want to, but let's stand up. Let's move to the side. Let's get some movement in. Straight over to the opposite side of the body. Maria. Let's throw your hands up in the sky and lean back like you are about to do a dive. And then you dive down to the ground and you do your best to touch your toes. And if you can't touch your toes, you should definitely sign up for our coaching program because you have a problem. If you can't touch your toes, I can tell you right now, you are a perfect fit for our coaching program because, that's a problem. That's a problem that should be addressed right now. Elisa, it took some time for you to get back up. We got worried. All of us get. Eldar actually dropped the phone, went out of the car, and then went right back on track. That's beautiful. Erlinda is there rocking her hips like she got some hula hoops thing going on. I love it. I love what I'm seeing. Hi, familia.
I'm a live testament. I couldn't touch my toes before Sebastian.
Tell the people about that. Tell the people about you couldn't be able to touch your toes and how the program.
I was so stiff, so stiff, and now even after 2 weeks where I've been off the program and not responsible, and now getting back on the horse, I still can now touch my toes much more easily. And I couldn't have done it if not for Sebastian, for coach.
Give toe touching Eldar. TTE, toe touching Eldar. Give him a round of applause. Eldar also have another thing. We have something that we call V-ups over here. And when we started this whole training journey together, Eldar was not able to actually touch his to be able to do one. I remember he was telling me like he was struggling so much. Then we have a workout that is a designed workout once again, obviously for dancers. And it's called Wow, Was That Really the Warm-Up Workout? And then you are supposed to do Yeah, raise your hand if you've done that workout. I know a lot of us have done that workout. Wow, was that really the warm up? You got a few of us. And Eldar actually chose to do V-ups. So he did 100 V-ups in, I think, less than 10 minutes, which is something that, imagine that, not being able to do one, and in just less than 16 weeks, he's able to do 100 of that exercise. I think that deserves another round of applause. That is super impressive, if you ask me. And guys, let me just plug this. If you're watching, let me show myself here. If you're watching and you wanna get that type of progression in your life, whether it's flexible, whether it's mental, whether it's just knowledge about nutrition, or maybe it might just be that you want to, be able to get stronger physically, just comment in the chat. If you're watching this on Instagram, just DM the word yes. Just comment in the chat yes. Well, you know what? I'm actually gonna have David, who is part of our team, my business partner. I'm gonna have him post a link here inside of the chat for you guys who are watching it live, and you can actually go in and book a call with us if you want to join the movement. A lot of us here are already part of the movement. Some of us are not yet. You're super welcome. Let's get back into this thing. Here we go. We spoke about the mindset, right? And we talked about the internal dialogue. So what do I mean with internal dialogue? Controlling the internal dialogue. Why is that so important? Well, if we have these things, so what do we need, right? Obviously, if you have your mindset, we need, oh, no. Here we go. So when it comes to the mindset, we need you to have what we call over here mental discipline. Mental discipline. Oh my days, that's a hard word. discipline, something like that. Discipline. That's what it says. Mental discipline. That's not easy to write for me, but it's okay. And what do I mean with that? Well, mental discipline is essentially that you have the ability to control what's happening up here. You have the ability to understand that not everything that is happening up in your brain is the truth, that just thoughts are random and it happens. And then they are not all facts. It's not all factual, right? And then when it comes to the dancing, what we need is what we call sport specific feedback. Sport specific feedback. What does that mean? Well, it was what I said. Like, you don't need another dance class. You don't need another dance trainer. You already have a dance trainer. You already have a dance teacher. That person should be giving you feedback about weight transferring on your feet, or perhaps things of that nature that is not done on the that is done on the dance floor. Where do you position your foot when you're doing pinza? How do you do the basics? How low should you be when you're doing Afro Cube? And things that I don't know. This is not my expertise. Now, if you're sending me dance videos, of course I am going to give you some feedback on your dancing also, right? After all, I've been doing this for 16 years. But the majority of what I do is that I make sure that you are getting feedback from a dance perspective. It was a Luana Lopsh who just logged in here, and if she's not Cape Verdean, I do not know who is. But that is one of the most Cape Verdean names I've heard in a long time. But then she disappeared, so we'll see. She might join us again. But I think this is all making sense, guys. We're about to round things up over here, but just again, for clarity, what is it that we're doing? We're talking about how can you become a better dancer, both. How can you become a better person, both on and off the dance floor? And over here at Dance TV Training, we're focusing on three things. We're focusing on you, on your training, your nutrition, your mindset, and your dancing. And when it comes to the training, we want to make sure to focus on longevity, because no matter your goals, you want to be able to dance for a long time, and you want to be able to be there and squat down and pick your grandchildren up, or you want to be there when you are in your 80s and being able to stand up from a chair. And that, in order for you to get there, you need a roadmap. Trust me, that shit does not happen randomly. That shit is not just like oh, whoa, I'm able to do it. No, that's done by design. And then when it comes to nutrition, you want to understand how to eat enough for you to perform optimally. And chances are that you don't want to be that boy or girl that brings a food scale with you everywhere you go. I don't want to be that guy. I'm actually going, it sounds crazy, but I'm actually going to go to have a dinner at the Palace of Cape Verde later. The first lady of Cape Verde, the president's wife, has a dinner that I get invited to. And I obviously am not going to bring a food scale with me. That's not just me. But I have enough, what? Keyword knowledge about nutrition. So no matter what they serve, I'm going to eat it and I'm going to enjoy it. And then I can adjust tomorrow and I can just do what I need to do. And I'm still going to reach my goals. Yes? And then we have the mindset because we want to be able to control our internal dialogue. We want to be able to control our internal dialogue so we are, no matter what is happening externally, internally, we are in control. So we want to focus on our mental discipline, right? We want to develop our mental discipline. And essentially, that is just doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, whether you feel like it or not. Because if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, regardless of how you're feeling, you will get to where you want to get. But that's a skill. Again, that is not happening randomly. That is done by design, right? And then it's the dancing. And then I want to give you guys, or you want to have sport-specific feedback. Because if you get sport-specific feedback, you're going to be able to not only get dance feedback, you're also going to get sport-specific feedback. It's like, okay, but you need to work on your endurance. You need to work on your upper body strength. You need to work on your leg strength. You need to make sure that strengthening your ankles, so those high heels that you are wearing, not going to sprain your ankles to death if you fall. You can actually save yourself, right? Or in Debbie's case, you're going to be strong enough so that when something happens on the dance floor, your knees are actually going to be able to recover way faster, right? She's not out for 6 months, just a couple of weeks, and she's already back in rehearsal. Right? Give Debbie a round of applause for that. Just thinking about that is just crazy for me. Because what ends up happening then is that we're going to come into this space right here, the Goldilocks zone right there, where all of these 4 pillars are intersecting and you're living in perfect harmony. That's where we want to be. That's exactly where we want to be. And then we can just draw a line out here and you say, us. Because that's what we're aspiring to do. And like I said in the beginning of this call, it's very hard, actually, to remember that you're not allowed to talk down to yourself. You're not allowed to say that I am trying to lose weight. I am trying to become a better dancer. I am trying to do this. You're not trying, you're doing it. This is the journey. This is the journey. Coming to these types of webinars, coming to these types of masterclasses, watching these types of videos, that's the journey. You are doing it. Right? This is the journey. This is the journey for me, for example, who's an entrepreneur. Like, this is the journey of entrepreneurship, right? It's like, oh, well, I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. No. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a semi-professional show team social dancer. You're a dancer. Done. You're a dancer. Stop it. Oh, but I am intermediate to advanced. No, stop it. You're a dancer. Let's go. Don't overthink it. Because if you have a roadmap, you have knowledge, you have mental discipline, and you're getting sport-specific feedback, trust me, you're going to reach to where you want to reach. Now, lucky for you, that is exactly what we're offering over here at Dance Specific Training. If you're interested in learning more, I highly suggest that you book a call and join a movement of like-minded dancers just like yourself. Who here has been taking notes? Raise your hand if you're taking notes. That is awesome. Show me your paper so you're not lying. Show me your paper. Show me those ones. Show me your papers. Happy. Proud one. That's okay, Debbie. That's okay. I saw it. That's okay. That's cool. Gilda is out here flexing. Gilda had like a Venn diagram and like a flower of life thing and like a pyramid in the middle. Ay. Familia, thank you so much for this conversation. It has been lovely. If you could just type into the chat, let me see who hasn't talked yet. Whose voice haven't we heard? Georgia, talk to us, champ lady. How are you? How are you feeling?
Me?
Yeah, that's you.
Yes. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much for this webinar. It was very interesting. Yeah, I joined a bit late, so sorry for that.
Don't worry about it.
I'm Italian. I'm based in Brussels, Belgium, and
Nice.
I dance. In the last year, I've danced a lot of bachata sensual. It's become
Beautiful.
my passion, and I dance a bit of salsa on one as well. Yeah, and I see myself a lot in what you're saying, all of the internal dialogue, which at the beginning was very, very bad for me.
Yeah.
And now it's gotten a bit better because otherwise, how could I move on and progress, right?
That is beautiful.
Yeah, I've been learning a lot about training as well. And
Yeah.
so true what you say that you have to personalize it based on what your body needs.
Yeah, of
And
course.
yeah, in order
That's
to improve
awesome.
also in your dancing. So yeah, thank you very much.
That's awesome. Give her a round of applause. Welcome to the family. We're excited to have you here. Let's see it. That is there. Brisa, are you with us, champ lady? We haven't heard your voice just yet. I know you and I have a call in like a couple of minutes, so we're actually gonna round this thing up because we have a personal call. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. No, I've just been listening to what you have to share. I think it's resonating a lot. And, for me specifically, I'm similar story. I got into bachata sensual and I've been on that track and also dance salsa on one. And recently I've been learning on two and getting into some Afro-Cuban stuff and just kind of noticing like my range of motion, my mobility isn't where I want it to be. So yeah, that's kind of my journey. That's why I'm here. So I really appreciate you sharing what you've shared. And
thank you. I'm glad you like it.
I can't show you my notes, but just know that I'm taking them.
That's the most important. That's the most important. Familia, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being part of this, and thank you for allowing me to express what I have, all this knowledge that I have. Again, I've been doing this for 16 years. I've trained some of the world's biggest artists and some of the world's best dancer, which is something I'm extremely proud of. And I could not do this without you. So I'm giving you guys a round of applause. This one is for you. This one is for you specifically. So I truly, 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 super mega grateful for this. I do my absolute best to give value. And this is what our whole program is about. There are a few things that I just want to plug. We have a podcast that's called Dance Specific Talks. We have a company called Dance Specific Training. We are starting by the beginning of next year, or by Q1 next year, rather, to do, what's the name in English? Starting with Dance Specific Trainers. So if you're interested in becoming a Dance Specific Trainer, you let us know. And there are more things, fun things happening in the pipeline. We're starting with YouTube more seriously, going to start going live a lot more. And that's honestly it. Familia, I want everybody to put on your camera. I'm going to say, we're going to finish this as we always finish this. I'm going to say bye, dancer. And you guys are going to do in one international harmony, do your absolute best to say four dancers. I say bye, dancers. You say four dancers. And then we wave very excitedly into the camera. That's the goal. So if you guys just unmute yourself real quick. Here we go. We're gonna mute ourselves. Mute yourself. Okay, here we go. All right, familia, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being part of this. It was a lot of people today. I'm super, super excited and super grateful for having this moment together with you. Remember, as always, bye, dancers.
For dancers.
Let's go. Ciao. Take care of yourself. Stay safe out there.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Ciao, you dance fanatics. Talk to you soon. Ciao.